Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on September 15th. Let's jump right into these charts and see what kicked off the new week. For starters, we got our December live cattle on the board. As we mentioned over the weekend, we are entering a rollover period here with the volume rolling out of this October contract and over into December, so this will be the focus on the new front month going forward from here. Pretty solid recovery across the board in the cattle market. Both feeders and fats posting pretty solid gains today. We did see this December live contract opening up on the lows right there at 232.80, grinding higher all day long, making a nice strong push, picking up a few bucks along the way. Really strong rally up there into the close, finishing above Thursday and Friday's highs, as well as this bull pivot here at 235.75 and that 20-day moving averages. So all big wins by the bulls here, all very constructive signs of accumulation here as this market had a nice strong start to the week. We do want to make sure that the bulls are able to carry this momentum over into Tuesday's action and keep this market propped above this bull pivot here at 235.75. As long as we are trading above here, we should see pretty smooth sailing back up into the 240s and new all-time highs coming sooner than later. Look for the bulls to keep on pushing. They got the momentum coming out the gate here so far. We could see this market kind of dip back down here into today's range a little bit and try and pick up some buyers that maybe missed the boat here today. So if we do get any sort of value area pullbacks down here into the 234 to 235 range, we'd like to see the bulls step in and keep that supported and make sure we're getting these daily closes above this bull pivot here at 235.75 and some momentum above today's high there at 236.5. Look for the bulls to keep on rallying here. Looks like a pretty good accumulation over the last few days, buying the dip here by the bulls, and we should have this market moving higher here in the near term. So look for these cattle prices to start marching back towards these all-time highs going forward. Over to the feeder market now. October feeders posting nice gains here, about $10 higher than where they closed on Friday. $7 range here with that nice strong open up there right around the 348 mark, pushing higher all day long here as well. We did get a brief poke above those prior day highs and that bull pivot, but as we can see here, closing price at 354.67, closing basically right on top of that bull pivot. At the moment, the bulls definitely have the momentum at their back with this nice strong start to the week and a close above that 20-day moving average and right here around these prior highs from Thursday and Friday. Bulls need to see a nice strong push above 354.70 and today's high at 355.02 to really get this momentum rolling higher. But good supportive action, good accumulation over the last few days here, 4-day range here and about a $10 price range. Looking like there's been plenty of accumulation down here near the lows. Bulls looking to keep pushing this market up. Really strong rejection each time we get down here below this 350 to 349 mark. Bulls really coming in and aggressively buying this thing down here in the high 340s. So looking like the bulls are really defending this line here and looking like they're going to get this market moving higher sooner than later. So bids above 355 tomorrow should get this market rolling higher and back towards those all-time highs. Corn futures, pretty quiet here today, trading inside Friday's range, kind of just digesting this big heavy volume day that we saw breaking out on Friday following that WASD report. At the moment, we're still trading here between 416 and 430, so no real reason to be getting involved here. We want to make sure that the bulls can follow through and get a nice breakout above the 430 mark. If they're able to fill this gap, we should see a potential new uptrend come from here. At the moment, with this inside day, we could see this market kind of come back here and test some of this value area that we've been trading around for the last 8 or 9 days here, kind of this range in the 415 to 425 mark. The bulls want to make sure they can keep this market trading above this rising 50-day moving average and this 20-day moving average. We're about to get that flip. If we can get a close with this 20-day above that 50-day average, should turn on a lot of buy signals for a lot of people out here in these grain markets and start pushing this corn market higher. Just need to see a nice steady break, fill this gap, and anything above 430 to 435 is probably going to head into a new uptrend here for this corn market. But in the meantime, relax. No need to get too aggressive here as this market could kind of chop around here in this 415 to 430 area a little bit longer. Crude oil prices also staying with an inside day, inside Friday's range, but still trading here below 64 and that declining 50-day moving average. Not a whole lot to be excited about here in the crude oil market. Until we get a breakdown here below 61.5, there's really not much more downside to be had. We could see this market just continue to chop up here in the low to mid 60s as there's not a whole lot to be excited about in the crude oil markets. Look for a nice low volatility to low volatility chop to remain over here in the oil markets. We did see a nice strong day in the equity markets. The S&P and Nasdaq and the Dow all pushing up into new all-time highs. We did see rollover here into this December contract, so we are seeing that's why we're getting these high prints over here on the Dow. But had a real strong rally here by the Nasdaq and the S&P, showing the tech sector is getting back involved, and we're getting a nice strong push here so far. At the moment, the big picture uptrend remains intact, and this market looks to be moving. We will have to wait and see how this market responds to the Fed day here on Wednesday. We got a potential rate cut coming in, and so we'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to that. But at the moment, the upside is still the path of least resistance here at the moment. So look for this market to keep on rolling, but just be cautious as we're moving into that FOMC day, as that could bring in some volatility to these equity markets. But in the meantime, big picture uptrend still remains intact, and we do expect to see higher prices here into year end, but just always got to account for a little bit of volatility when the Fed meeting comes around. So just be on the lookout for that this week, and other than that, should be smooth sailing here to the upside for these equity markets. That's all we got for this evening. Everyone have a good night.